Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of A Glimpse of the Dream by L.A. Fiore, performed by Cris Dukehart and Will Damron.
Prologue. Blue Hill, Maine, 1997. My knees shook, and my stomach ached with fear. The silent car contained only me and the woman driving. Social services, she'd said to the priest when she'd picked me up that afternoon to drive me to my new home. I had taken care to wear something really nice that day. My best black dress that Mom and I had purchased for a birthday party I'd wanted to go to. I had even combed my hair until it shined like copper. That's how my dad described my hair. Copper. But I wasn't wearing it for a party. Instead, I'd stood in a graveyard as the rain misted around us, and watched as my parents were lowered into the ground. 2 holes right next to each other. At least they would be together. I didn't want to go into a box in the ground. Didn't want the darkness or the cold. I hated that when I thought of them now, that was how I'd see them. The tears in my eyes burned almost as painfully as the throbbing in my head. Christmas lights lit the houses we passed, but I didn't look. The sight of them would forever be a reminder of this awful day. My parents had been out Christmas shopping. The roads had been slick from the rain, and their car had lost control on a turn only a mile from our house. I had heard the sirens from my room, but didn't know whom they were for as I sat watching Doctor Who. My parents were dying. The car turned down a long lane, but it was so dark I couldn't see the house that would now be my home. Grammy and Gramps' best friend, Mrs. Marks, was the only family I had left. Grammy had died 2 years before, from cancer, and then Gramps a year later from a broken heart. And now my parents were gone. Chills spread goosebumps over my skin. I had never met these people, didn't know anything about them, and now I had to leave my home near Boston and go live with them in Maine. Lightning crackled against the pitch-black sky, and I caught my first glimpse of Raven's Peak, but it wasn't a house. It was like a Gothic castle, and it scared me. Big and ugly, and considering how much of the trip we were going uphill, I could only assume the house looked down on the town that surrounded it. A small cottage with a picket fence in New...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?